Hi, I'm Vera Ludwig, a research associate working with Michael Platt at the University of Pennsylvania. Meditation is an ancient practice that increases health and well-being and produces beneficial changes in the brain. In the type of meditation that most people know, you sit by yourself and observe your own mind. Perhaps you have already tried this too. Often called mindfulness meditation, it's been widely embraced by athletes, businesses, and even school systems to increase resilience and improve well-being. Despite clear benefits, the typical mindfulness meditation is a solitary practice. And as we have all come to learn, sometimes painfully during the pandemic, people are fundamentally social. Feeling close to others is crucial for our well-being and health. It's so important, in fact, that we have evolved a specialized brain network dedicated to managing our connections with others. When we feel close to others, this network begins to resonate with the social brain networks of others. Also, our heart rates, breathing, and movements might synchronize as well. This synchrony is not only a marker of social connection, but also of mental health. For example, people with depression synchronize less with others. By the same token, syncing up with others makes us feel good. Social synchrony matters. Many people know what it feels like to miss out on social synchrony, to miss true connection. Especially now in times of a global pandemic, when many of us have endured prolonged periods of isolation. Our project aims to provide insights that may ultimately improve this situation. You might not be surprised to hear that during the pandemic, estimates of depression rates have been as high as 25%, with 10% recently having considered suicide. And in the US, more than 90,000 people died of drug overdoses in 2020. Loneliness and disconnection are important factors explaining this. Young people and those with low socioeconomic status are most affected. Although some parts of the US are tentatively trying to return to somewhat normal pre-pandemic conditions, doing so is challenging. The social brain is like a muscle. Use it and it grows, but neglect it and it atrophies. That is one reason why, for example, many students feel anxious about reconnecting with others when they return to campus after more than 1.5 years of impoverished relationships. We ask here if these young people can benefit from meditation practices that are done together with others rather than alone. We build upon the rich but underexplored tradition of social meditation practices. One is the contemplative dyad meditation. Two people sit in front of each other, and if necessary, this can even be done online. One person gives the other a prompt. For example, when you hear the word happiness, what comes up for you? For 5 minutes, the other person shares the content of their entire momentary experiences stimulated by that prompt, including body sensations, emotions, and thoughts. The other person is simply present and listens. This is special. In real life, when we listen to someone, we often want to give feedback, criticize, or help the other person. Rarely do we simply mindfully listen, as in this exercise. After 5 minutes, the roles switch. There's little research on partnered meditations, but early evidence suggests that practicing them regularly leads to changes in the social brain networks, accompanied by stronger feelings of connection, even with people that you do not know yet. Our goal is to test whether contemplative dyad meditation can help young people overcome the challenge of reconnecting during and in the aftermath of the pandemic, and if so, uncover the biological mechanisms mediating this. We predict that this type of social meditation can help restore connectedness and biological synchrony. We further hypothesize that this increase in physiological synchrony and closeness will translate to enhanced mental health, decrease suicidal risk, and better real-life relationships. Here's the setup. We will randomly assign 80 students to 2 groups, contemplative dyad meditation or solo mindfulness meditation. Experienced teachers will show the meditation to participants. Students will then come to our research lab, and their interactions and biology will be measured in pairs. In the social condition, participants will engage in several rounds of contemplative dyad meditation. In the mindfulness condition, participants will also meditate together in the same room, but without interacting. They will then practice the respective method for 4 weeks, twice weekly, with alternating partners in the case of the contemplative dyad meditation condition, or on their own for the mindfulness condition. Then they come back to the lab for a final assessment. We have developed a setup in which we can measure people's biology during unconstrained behavior. This allows us to objectively measure the brain and body processes as people engage in solo or interactive meditation. We also observe participants' behavior, and we ask them about their experience. The biological processes we measure can tell us a lot about synchrony and connection, about well-being and relaxation. For example, certain brainwaves may indicate the presence of meditative states, and a fast-beating heart may be a sign of arousal, of course. These are processes that are more difficult to assess from what people say alone. That's because we have only limited access to the chatter of the 80 billion or so neurons in our brains, and even when we do, it can be inaccurate, biased by expectations, and sometimes we don't even want to say what we feel. Measuring biological variables alongside self-report allows us to develop a detailed mechanistic model of how social meditation increases connection and well-being. Such a granular characterization of dyadic meditation on multiple levels, body, behavior, and experience has never been attempted, nor compared with more common solo mindfulness meditation. We owe it to ourselves, each other, and most importantly, the next generation to explore every possible way to improve connection and well-being. We should promote the cooperation necessary to move people all over the world to act together in unison and kindness to overcome the challenges facing us, from the pandemic to polarization. I would be grateful for your support in this project. Thank you so much for your attention.